It's 2025 and I'm asking myself, should I get married? Should people get married? And what are the trends?
Don't get married how your mom wants you to get married. Don't get married how your friend wants you to get married. But really, this is your day and your marriage. So make all your dreams come true when it comes to the wedding.
Should people get married? And what are the trends in the wedding world? Traditional weddings, spiritual weddings. The topic is so bright. And this is what we are gonna discuss today in the Soul Talks with Misha, the podcast of spirituality blending into the modern life. I am Misha, the energy coach and spiritual channel, and today I have Hana with me here. Hana from Something Blue. Hana is leader, business owner. She's a mom. She's my dearest friend, and she has an incredible story. Hana started her business just after her baby was born, and she had quite busy times in her life also when her mom passed away, and there was so many changes in her life. But still, Hana, you managed to launch the business, and you even managed to have 2-3 clients very shortly after starting the business. And I believe that's because you are aligned with your soul's mission and you are aligned with what you really want to do, and then the world can see it. So welcome, Hana. Thank you so much that you're here, and please tell me, what did I forget in the introduction of yourself?
Thank you, Misha. Hello, everyone. I think you said everything and covered it pretty nicely. I would maybe just like to add that I do really enjoy all the roles, but especially their combination, because it keeps me really balanced. And I feel very grateful to be able to be a working mom in a way which respects my daughter's needs, because I know that everyone is not that fortunate, so that is something I really cherish and appreciate.
That's truly inspiring, I believe. And what I maybe forgot to say though, that in your business you're focused on the weddings. That's why I brought the topic of the weddings. And so you are a wedding planner, if I'm saying it correctly. And I believe that it's very well possible to organize it with your daughter's needs, what you just described, because most of the weddings are on the weekends, and that's when your husband can help you, and during the days you can align your schedule with your husband's work, babysitter, the needs of your clients. And of course we all know that the online business can be done sort of anytime when it comes to the marketing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, I work with clients who in most cases are working full-time. That means they also need to meet with me after work. So it suits perfectly my husband's work, and really it's a great job, I would say.
It is great. I want to invite all the listeners, everyone who is just watching today, if you want to hear more about this topic, if you are intrigued in what we are about to say, please give us like and subscribe to our channel so that we can prepare even more for you. And now, Hana, finally tell me, should we get married in 2025? Do people still get married? Is it the trend, or what's going on?
Well, we should still get married because it can be very meaningful, but it's not the trend. So according to statistics, people don't get married that much nowadays. We see when it comes to the Czech Republic that in the last 30 years, the rates of new marriages are really very low in comparison to the decades before. And we are talking about 50%, so really a huge decline, which of course can be connected with all the societal changes that happened after the Velvet Revolution. Maybe also it can be connected to the cost of weddings, but still, people should get married, in my opinion, because I believe it's the right thing to do. If you found your significant other with whom you wish to spend the rest of your life and you are both serious about it, then I do not see a reason not to get married.
I'm so enthusiastic about how you encourage people to get married, because the story is that you are a really big fan of weddings, big fan of love and relationships, and we know each other, 10 years or maybe even longer, and it was always your topic, and I remember all our girly talks. On the other hand, for me, I was not really the wedding person. I never really understood your passion for it, so I was wondering what's going on. But I'm so grateful that you took me to this journey, because you helped me to understand the reason why people marry, why they want to marry, and it also helped me to heal some of my patterns when it comes to marriage and weddings. So definitely it is interesting what you're saying. And I think it's also related to the generations. You basically said it, Velvet Revolution, how life changed in Czech Republic, because we're both based in Czech Republic, working in many languages, English, German, Czech. So that's about it. So in your opinion, you believe that people should get married, or it's still happening, and you are helping them to have the most amazing wedding day, but also I would call it wedding in this scenario, because from what I understood from you is it's not only about that wedding day, it's the whole process. It's actually a big thing, and people should think about it before the wedding day and after the wedding day. So tell us more. How long does it take to prepare a wedding, coordinate the wedding?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a project, I would say, connected with a big event after that. And the whole preparation part for the wedding can really take quite a lot of time. We are sometimes speaking about 200 hours. So it's best to start as early as possible. When clients reach out to me a year before the wedding or more, that is the ideal scenario. But of course, it is also possible to plan wedding few weeks or months before that, especially if the couple can make quick decisions and if they are quite flexible. Then it's also possible to manage that.
That's interesting. 200 year ahead. That's something what I would have a problem with. I live more in the flow. But I understand there is so much which you need to coordinate, right? When it comes to the venue,
Yes.
all the suppliers and the perfect timing.
Exactly, there is really a lot, and there are all the little details that people maybe not think of directly. So basically what we do in the planning part of the process is that I listen to the wishes and expectations of the couple, and I help them select the right venue for them. Then I recommend them all the wedding vendors who can be part of their wedding if they wish to. And I basically act as liaison between the couple and the vendors, and I cover all the details, all the communication, everything that is needed. And I also help the couple prepare timeline of the day, seating plans, transportation plans, rooming lists, and so on. So all these little details. I help them cover the administrative part. I give them know-how, knowledge needed so that they can make decisions, for example, about which type of ceremony they should choose. And all these little things really do take time, and it's best to have enough time for them so that the couple can make the best decision for them. I also help them with design of the wedding, which decorations to choose for them, so that everything really fits perfectly to the vision of their dream wedding. So this is really everything that is happening before the wedding as such. And of course there are also many really nice things that the couple can do, like choose their wedding dress and suit, choose the rings, prepare their honeymoon, and so on. So also this is something I do usually support with if the couple wishes to.
Okay, now I understand. It sounds quite a lot. So I think it completely makes sense that you need so much time to help with the wedding itself. And when you tell me all these tasks which you're working on, it really got me thinking, because, and maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that the industry of wedding planning and wedding planners and agencies is relatively new, at least in the Czech Republic or Central Europe, to my knowledge. What I remember from the past, from the stories of my parents and my surrounding, is that they did not have the wedding planner and they didn't have anyone to help them. So why do you think it is? Or can you help us, me and everyone who is listening, really to understand what changed that in the past the wedding world worked differently compared to today?
Yeah, so you're right. So in the Czech Republic we have wedding planners since the last approximately 20 years, and before that this job really didn't exist. So we see that what we had before that was that the weddings were not such a big event. So it was pretty easy to get married. You just went to a city hall, you got married with family and friends, then you took some pictures, and then you went to a restaurant with only family or some friends. But it was not so many guests like today, and there is a lot that was not part of that we have now. Less vendors in general, the timeline wasn't like that, and also we didn't have wedding venues like we have today. So it was really different and still manageable without a wedding planner, I would say. But when the complexity started to get bigger and bigger, and we see that today the weddings are quite complex. Usually, I mean, of course, you can have any type of wedding you want. You can just get married on a city hall and then go to a restaurant as well, if you want to, if that's what you wish to do. But in most cases, couples wish to have the wedding day with all their friends and family, of course, and they wish to have a photographer there, and they wish to have a video recording from the whole day, and they wish to have makeup artists there so they look nice, and so on. So really like a lot of parts and a lot of parties also involved, which make it complex in my opinion, because the more parties involved, the higher complexity connected, and the more you need someone to help
to coordinate all the parties. And Hana, you said, I liked what you said, that everyone can have the wedding how they want to. Of course, we are so lucky to live in the free world where we can choose. And you were talking about the civil wedding, sort of, if I understood it correctly, when people just go for the civil ceremony, and relatively small one, of course, it can be bigger one as well. But there are different types of weddings, and we collaborate on some of them. So can you please explain us what is the civil wedding versus symbolic wedding, spiritual wedding? Because every time when we have a call or we talk, I mix them all together and you correct me. No, this is this and this is this. So can you please tell us?
Yeah. So we do have 3 types of wedding ceremony in the Czech Republic. Usually when I say wedding ceremony, people imagine the civil one. So basically that's the type of wedding which you discuss with your local authorities, and basically it's a very straightforward process, very clear and easy. So local authorities do the ceremony either on the city hall or in the venue if that's where they want to go.
That's a good point.
On a specific date which they choose, and the speech is quite short, so the ceremony is in general very short. The speech is universal. You cannot really personalize it. You can change some bits, but you can't change completely the ceremony and the speech. And also what is happening is that you do not know the officiant and you cannot choose him or her. And in most cases you see the officiant for the first time during the ceremony.
That's quite scary for me already.
Yes. So I know this is what many people are choosing as a ceremony, but it really does sound quite scary to meet the officiant who will basically perform the ceremony of such a powerful thing like marriage, and that you see the person for the first time at the ceremony and that you cannot choose him or her. So that is also something I'm not really in favor of. But still, for couples who want something very easy, who do not want to choose their officiant, who just want to get married, this can be a great type of ceremony. Plus, in most cases, it can be for free, so there are no costs connected to that. So this is the civil ceremony. And then we have 2 more types. One of them is church ceremony. And also, when I say church ceremony, people might think of church and weddings in a church that are very long. that can take like 60-90 minutes. There are people praying and so on. So yes, this is one part of this church type of ceremony, but this is usually only being done in the Roman Catholic Church. But we have also other churches, and there the ceremony can be way different. So there are churches who can perform the ceremony and the couple doesn't need to be part of the church. So basically anyone who wishes to have a church ceremony can have it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So complex.
It is also quite easy to do. You choose the officiant, and if the officiant has time, then you meet, you get to know each other, you talk about the ceremony, you talk about what should be part, what should not be part of it, and you can personalize it. You know the officiant in this case. The ceremony is not as short as the civil one, but not as long as the Roman Catholic ceremony. And you can choose also the speech, what you want to have there, what not, if you want to have vows or not. Yeah, you can basically personalize it together with the officiant.
This sounds already a bit better to me.
Yeah, it is. It is much better. And it is really something that I believe people should be aware of, because people, sometimes are afraid that they didn't get the date of their wedding from the local authorities and they are not sure what to do. So this might be a way they can hire an officiant from a church to perform their wedding, even if they are not baptized. So this is the second option. And then we have the third one, which is symbolic ceremony. This is the most flexible of them, because basically anyone can perform it. So it can be a ceremonialist like you, but it can also be a friend or a celebrity, basically really anyone. And the officiant can perform the ceremony anywhere, at any day. Really, it is very flexible. The only thing connected to it is that this kind of ceremony is not legally binding. So in most cases what the couples do is that they get married on another day very quickly in a city hall with witnesses only. Yeah. But the day of their wedding with the symbolic wedding is actually what for them is the date of the wedding, because it's the important one. Ceremony can be very meaningful and deep. But maybe here you could talk about it a little bit more and tell us all about the symbolic, especially the ritual ceremony.
Yes, you're right. It's my favorite one, and also the one which I am leading and orchestrating. And there is so many options how to actually do this sort of ceremony, because as you said, it's very variable, very flexible. How I like to look at it is always first the story of the couple. That's so important for me so when I work with the couples, I have some sessions with them before the actual wedding day and wedding ceremony to get to know them. So what you said about the civil ceremony, where the couple doesn't get to chance to know the officiant, in my case, and I believe all the other ceremonialists and people who perform the symbolic weddings, they get to know each other with the couple, get to know the story. For me, it's really important to know also the intentions for the wedding, for the marriage, because in my opinion, it's not that straightforward. There are many different reasons why people get married and what they want to bring to the marriage. There are also topics linked to their past, so I like to look at that as well. And I mean, when I talk about the past of the couple, but also the past of the couple before they were a couple, so how it is connected to other partners, previous partners. It's very common in today's world, or at least in our region, that people date several people and only after that they get married with the one. So in this case, I like to look at those relationships and cleanse them and make sure that they're all cleansed from the energetic point of view. I like to also look at the ancestral lineage and what topics are there and how to really mingle them with the purpose of this particular marriage. So those are my favorite points. And then I also look at the soul contract as very spiritual part, and of course not everyone wants to have a look at it, so then it depends how deep the couple wants to go. there are different themes how to perform the ceremony itself. We can include different elements: fire, water, air. We can include hand fasting, sacred geometry. There is so much, and I really love this topic, and I'm thankful that you sort of brought me to this journey as well, because when we look at the wedding from the soul's contracts point of view, and what are the deals between the souls before they even incarnate to the world, it's just so amazing. So that's what I enjoy mostly about the weddings. For me, it's also not about just that one day where I have the speech which is tailored to the couple and I guide them through the day as they want, but also the part before and also the integration part after the wedding day and wedding ceremony itself. So because I think it's so important, and I believe it was actually also your point when we discussed how people integrate the wedding, because it's very common that people go to honeymoons. Yes, that's awesome, and they should do that if they want to. But it's also nice to discuss the experience of that wedding day and the whole planning and everything afterwards with a third party. So potentially with me as a ceremonialist or with a friend. But it's really nice to have someone out of the family, out of the friends, I believe, who is not really biased. So it can be also a wedding planner, I believe, or ceremonialist, or anyone else, right? So, yeah.
This sounds really also very complex, and I think it's great that you really do so many deep and meaningful work behind the ceremony. And this is a huge difference towards the civil ceremony, where you just get married and that's it. But here you really work on it, and you, I believe, are much better prepared than also for the marriage. And I do see that there can be a higher success rate, if I can say it like that, meaning less divorces when people really get married consciously and think about the impact and what they bring into the marriage and what they wish from the marriage and so on. So this is really, I think, how it should look like.
I agree with you, Hana, and I'm so aligned. And this was actually my biggest aha moment when we discussed the weddings and, I mean, our collaboration at the beginning a year ago, or I don't remember when we exactly started, is because I really am a believer of the conscious decisions whatsoever. If it's the decision about the marriage, if it's a decision about, yes, even the divorce, right? It's always work. It's never just a 1 minute quick decision solution. There is so many layers in between. So yeah, thanks to you, I finally know that I'm not against the marriage and just really appreciate and value the conscious decisions. And I believe that it's also what people do more and more, at least in Czech Republic, from what we have seen in the market. Is it true that people tend to choose more, maybe not necessarily very spiritual weddings, but more conscious weddings and more symbolic wedding days and ceremonies over the civil ones? Or what's the situation?
I would say people who know and are aware that there can be a church or a symbolic ceremony, they really think about it much more, and they tend to decide for these types of ceremonies. But in my opinion, there is still a lot of people who do not know which ceremonies there are and what it means, how complex or easy they are. They simply choose the civil wedding. That is a pity in my opinion.
We changed that now. You guys know now.
So I think it's a huge know-how point. And also people who hear about church weddings, they are sometimes afraid, especially if they are not part of a Catholic church, they are afraid that the ceremony will be too much, about God and so on. When we talk with the clients about the ceremony types, it often helps them to have the knowledge and know-how, and then they tend to really make these decisions which you just described, and often choose a symbolic ritual or church wedding.
Interesting. I believe that our talk now helped many of our audience to understand a bit more about different types of weddings. And if you enjoy our talk, please subscribe and like our video. Or if you're on Spotify or listening in any other platform, just give us subscribe, because it makes us happier and helps us to spread this important knowledge all around the world. And Hana, is there something more which you would like to share and teach the world about the weddings before we close the podcast?
Interesting. So this topic has been huge. I would just like to recommend people to hire a wedding planner, because it makes really your life so much easier. I myself had a wedding planner when I got married, and I can't really recommend it enough, because it really helped tremendously during the preparation part, but also during the wedding day as such, because you as a bride, you want to enjoy the wedding day together with the groom, and you also want your family and friends to enjoy the wedding day, because it's only a day and it runs by so quickly. So it's really great to have someone there to take care of all the organizational aspects, so that you can really focus on each other only. So that's also a very important topic, and I know this is an extra cost. So for example, if people are tight on budget, I would suggest that maybe they don't recommend a wedding planner for the whole preparation part and coordination of the day. Maybe they organize the wedding by themselves, but at least have a wedding planner for the wedding day itself.
So there is a difference. You can, or people can choose and have support in different amount of work, different part of the preparation, right? So you can help, for example, with, I would say, everything, if I simplify it, or just certain parts, or the coordinating that day. So it's all tailored, basically.
Exactly. If a couple thinks about using services of a wedding planner, it's best to just contact me or anyone else, have a meeting and get to know each other, because it's really very important that also the wedding planner and the couple understand each other. And then if they want to collaborate, they can agree on the service that is wished for. And some wedding planners have it differently, but I want to offer my clients exactly what they want to have. Most of the couples still do choose the whole package, so the planning of the wedding and the coordination, but I also offer the coordination of the day itself, and I also offer coordination of the wedding ceremony. So it's not only the ceremony, but it would be approximately 4 hours during the wedding day, the most important part, also the part which requires the most organizational aspects. So that's where I step in, but then leave. So the afternoon I'm not there, and the couple can be together with the friends and family there without me. So that is also an option. So really different options. Or I also offer consultations for some couples who do not wish to have a wedding planner during the wedding planning part, but want to discuss some topics. So that's also a way. So really, like, a lot of different services everyone can choose from.
That's amazing. And again, why I believe that we sing so well, not only because we're friends for so many years, but also it's the passion of both of us to provide to the clients what they wish, what they need, and really tailor the services to their needs, because especially when it comes to the important transformation like marriage, then it's so important. That's true. And Hana, you also talked about, you said that it's important that you sort of match with the clients and about the communication, that you understand each other well. That brings me to one important topic, which is, in my opinion, rather unique, at least in our area. And that is that your services are provided in various languages, and that's English, Czech, German, maybe even more languages. You're so talented. So can you add on that one, please?
Yes, that's right. I can fully plan the wedding and coordinate the day in Czech, English and German, a combination of these languages. So for example, during the wedding day, I can use, let's say, Czech and English together based on who the guests are. I tend to combine 2 maximum languages during the wedding day, but of course 3 would be possible, but 2 is in my opinion better for practical reasons. Plus I also speak and understand French and Swedish, not that advanced as English and German, but also guests coming from France or Sweden can communicate with me in those languages, and I can make them feel welcome.
You're very humble, Hana. I believe your level of French and Swedish is also very high. So if you want the weddings in any of these languages, I think Hana is the right person. All right. Before we close the session today, anything more, Hana? What is your final words to our audience about the marriage and weddings?
Get married in your own way. Don't only think about the current wedding trends, because there's a lot of trends, but get married how you want to get married.
Please.
Don't get married how your mom wants you to get married. Don't get married how your friend wants you to get married, but really this is your day and your marriage. So make all your dreams come true when it comes to the wedding.
I can't agree more on that. Really, do it your way. Consider your own wishes, your and your partner, of course, both of you. And yeah, enjoy this transformation. You can learn more if you just join one of our websites, Instagrams. We will put all the information down there to the description. Contact for Hana, Hana something blue, myself as well, if you're searching for someone who guides you through transformation, like marriage or any other transformational part of your life. I'm more than happy to guide you through that. Subscribe, give us like. We're so thankful that you're listening to us. Also leave us a comment if you want to discuss whatever you want to. We're so happy to have a talk here on YouTube or any other platform. And take care until next time.
Thank you.